Good morning, Sunday. All right, child's pose. Everybody is just exactly where they should be, right on their mats. Push your hips back to your heels. Give me 1 second. Let your arms rest by your side this time for a few moments. So rest your palms by your side, palms up, or your arms by your side, palms up. And just let your shoulders drape down, let your upper back start to release. Maybe even taking a gentle massage of your forehead side to side. And then rest in some peaceful child's pose for a few breaths. Just direct your breath from top of head to bottom of the tailbone. Can you just let your arms drape over your thighs and just melt? A few more rounds of breath here. Tuck your chin lightly to your chest and roll to sit up on your heels. Bring your arms behind you, fingers pointed in either direction. Lift your chest up, just stretch the front of your shoulders, chest. So just kind of countering the forward fold. And then come on back to sitting on your heels and swing legs off to one side or the other. Come into a cross-legged position. Let's all start with the left leg in front of the right, just so that we know where we are, and just rock side to side and move the flesh. Place your hands on top of your thighs to lift and lengthen your spine. And then bring your chin to your chest and round your spine away. Inhale, pull yourself up and maybe even slightly forward. Exhale, chin to chest, roll back, pull the belly into the spine. Take a couple more rounds. Inhale, you should feel that rocking of the sitting bones underneath you. So go as deep or as shallow as you need. Do as much or as little as you want or need. And then let's move this into some circles in either direction, because you're going to do both. So just notice forward side, back side. And then reverse. Folding, rolling. Make your way back to the center on the next one. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, look over your left shoulder. Drop your shoulders down. Inhale to center, look over your right shoulder as you exhale. Inhale back to center, tuck your chin towards your chest. Inhale, open your eyes, lift your arms up overhead as you lift your head back up. Turn your palms inside out as you interlace your fingers. And then place the hands behind your head and let your head rest into your arms. Lift out of your waistline. Good, now just turn to the right side. So you maybe, stopped a little bit earlier than if your arms were down. Come back to center, inhale. Go to the other side. Back to center. Good, inhale, stretch your arms up again. Just bring them down in front of you and switch the cross of your fingers, one finger over. It's going to feel funny sometimes. Lift it all the way up, inhale. Hands behind your head one more time. This time lean to the right side. Some of you might even touch the floor with your elbows. Inhale back to center and up and over to the left side. Let's do that one more time. Inhale through center. Exhale up and over to the right side. Stay here for a moment. Release your arms. Interlace your fingers. Come back up to center. Stay grounded through your sitting bones. Bring your hands back behind your head. Exhale, left side, side bend. And then release it. Palms together, thumbs up, or middle fingers up. Second fingers, actually. Come back to center. Exhale, release the arms, chin to chest, lean back, shake out your legs. Put your right leg in front of your left leg. Do a little side bending again, but this time hands down, up and over. Take your left hand onto the floor. Push your hips back. If you're on the other side, just do the other side. And then push your hips to the floor. Find a little bit more rotation in the torso. And then inhale, sweep the left arm back up. Exhale, up and over to the other side. Lift up. Lean over. And then take the right hand to the floor outside your left thigh. Breathe in and push your hips back to your heels. Relax neck and shoulders. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale, come all the way to sitting up. Arms up overhead. Palms are separated. Shoulders are down. Reach out of your waistline, pull your sitting bones down and sit a little bit in front of them. And then exhale the arms back behind your back. Lift your chest up again, lean back and release your legs, shake it out. And once again, sweep them around to either side. And then bring your hands and knees. Oh, I'm just gonna change my mat, you guys. So just stay in a hands and knees position, tuck your toes underneath you. It's a little bit crazy, but I'll explain it another time why we're doing that. Okay, so your hands and knees are on the floor, tuck your toes underneath you. Find a little bit of action in the core just by drawing the navel point in and a crown of the head to the tailbone is long. Without making too much adjustment on one side or the other, just lift your right knee off the floor a little bit, just a little bit. So try not to lean into your left side. And then lower the knee to the floor, tuck the toes again. Lift the left leg off, just feel the core engage. Nothing much happening here. Lower it down. So what I'm trying to avoid is to sink into my left side when the right knee lifts up. Hold the knee up. This time extend the leg back behind you. Point your toes, lift a little bit higher as you round and curl, knee to chest, round the spine. Step your right foot through. Adjust it so your back knee is a little bit further back and you're sinking down into your hips here. Shoulders pull back, away from you, collarbones pull forward. Just a nice, world's greatest stretch. Breathe in, breathe out. And just relax your body down. Take another breath here. Good. As you exhale, with some kind of grace, sweep that right leg back up. Bring your hands a little closer. Tuck your left toes under. Bend your elbows, chin and chest towards the floor, or chin to the floor. And then come back up, sunbird bow, knee to chest, round and curl, and set your foot back onto the floor. Feet are hips width apart. Tuck your right toes underneath you. Lift the left knee up off the floor, hovering. Then extend the leg back behind you, hips are square. Point the toes, lift a little bit higher. Round and curl your spine. Step your left foot forward in between your two hands. If you need to, move your back knee back further so that you have a nice release in the front of that hip. And just settle in, trying not to collapse on your thighs. Of course, the blocks, as you know, my new favorite toys, will help you from collapsing your belly and your chest onto your thigh. One more breath. Good. Now, tuck your right toes back underneath you, plant your palms, and just sweep your left leg back. Walk your hands back a little bit, chin chest to the floor, or chin to the floor. Come back up, knee to chest, round and curl, all four on the floor. Tuck both toes underneath you. Separate your hands if you've moved them. Let both knees hover off the floor. Breathe, inhale. Stay in this position and round your spine. So you're just hovering off the floor, but you're rounding your spine. And then place your knees down. Arch your back, come to neutral, push to a child's pose, release your toes, stretch it all the way out. You know this is somewhere you can come anytime you'd like. Arms outstretched now, but you can have them by your side, under your head, in between your legs. One more time, come up to hands and knees, tuck the toes, lift the belly up and in, and hover both knees off the floor. Inhale, and as you exhale, stay there, but round your spine. Hold the belly all the way up. Keep the knees bent. And then extend your spine, or lengthen it, and then come back to a bent knee, downward facing dog. Biceps by ears. Breathe in, breathe out. Right leg straightens, left knee bends. Maybe you lift the toes off the floor and roll the ankle in 2 directions. Again, without shifting too much into that right hip, bend the left leg, put it back on the floor and switch legs. So your left leg straightens now, weight is evenly distributed between your 2 hands, lift the right foot off the floor, roll through your ankle, and then place it back on the floor. Both knees are bent again, chest towards your thighs. Just like we did on the floor, our knees are bent, we're going to round the spine here. And then inhale, extend the spine. And then find neutral spine between the 2 extremes, lower your heels. Chest towards your thighs, biceps by the ears, breathe. Downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Any adjustments you need to make are fine. Come high up on your tiptoes. Look towards your hands and take a few steps to the front of your mat, coming into a standing forward bend. Take your fists in between your feet so you've got the approximate width of your hips, shoulders, and just fold. Let your head hang down. Shake it out, yes and no. Let your arms be just slightly in front of your feet so the palms can be onto the floor or blocks. And again, pull the belly in and round your spine, tuck your chin to your chest. Let your head hang down. Push firmly through the big toe, little toe, ball of the foot, heel of the foot. And then start to pull up a little bit more so the fingertips start to float off the floor. And you're hanging in a ragdoll. You're really sucking in your belly towards your spine. Your head is long. And push down evenly through your feet as you start to roll up slowly. Take your time. Take your time. Shoulders roll over, hips. Head over shoulders. Hips over knees, knees over ankles. Just like the song says, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Arms out by your side. Inhale. And exhale. Bring the arms overhead. Inhale. Take your left wrist with your right hand, lift up and over. First 2 fingers connect. Spin your heart open. Hug your hips towards midline. Reach up and over and away. Try not to, again, shift into one side more than the other. And inhale back to center. Left hand grabs right, palm up to the sky. First 2 fingers connect. Lift up and over. Open up your chest, shoulders. Hug hips towards midline. Inhale back to center. Exhale, open the arms out, lift your heart. Release your arms behind your back, interlace your fingers. Lift your chest up. Soften your knees, fold forward over your legs. Head down, arms up. Where they go. Strap towel if you need it. One more breath. Good. Empty the breath and bring your hands to the floor. Touch your fingertips to the floor. Blocks, bend your knees and sit your weight back to your heels. Lift your belly off your thighs. Drop your seat a little bit lower. And then place your hands to prayer. Try not to touch your forearms to your thighs. Use the strength of your legs here at the center of your core. Breathe in, breathe out. Push firmly through your feet. Rise up to stand. Take your arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, sit your hips back, chair pose. Send the weight back to your heels like you're going to sit into a chair. Press down through your feet and forward fold, and then straighten the legs when you get to the floor. Halfway lifting up. Exhale, fold your body in half. Inhale, halfway lift up. Step your right foot back, low crescent lunge. Hug your hips towards midline. You can always go to your knee. You can always take your hands to blocks. If you only have one block, you can put it in front, whatever works for you. Now straighten out your front leg. Hands on the floor, blocks. Just work at squaring off the hips for a moment. And then rebend your front knee. Turn your back foot on its side. Heel to heel, heel to instep, or wider. But notice that left hip might want to shift out, so bring it back to center. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Hug everything towards midline. Think about the back foot for a moment. Pinky toe to the floor. Big toe to the floor. Outer edge of that foot nice and strong. And then hover your fingertips off the floor. Just hover. Bring the arms by your side. Pull your chest forward, shoulders back, crown of the head forward, and tailbone back. Using the strength of your center and your legs, rise up to stand up. Warrior one. Open up your arms to a T. Shoulders down. Good. Bend your front knee. Now straighten your front leg. And rebend it. Do that again. Inhale, straighten your front leg. And then bend it. Stay here, flip your palms, arms overhead. If you like to touch your hands together, feel free. Work on the thigh being parallel to the floor, back hip turning forward, or torso turning forward. Lift out of your waistline, make sure you're not pooching out at your ribs, so draw the navel point in. One more breath. Exhale, hands to the floor. Spin your back foot forward. Take your fingertips to the floor, look forward, and then step forward, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, rise the breath to stand. Bring it all the way with you. Exhale, take prayer to your heart center. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up. Feet can be together or further apart. Exhale, fold. Hands to floor, shins or blocks. Inhale. Bend your knees, sit your weight back to your heels. Place your fingertips on the floor, hover. Bring your hands to heart. Sit back all the way down. Push the toes down. Push to stand up. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, sit into your chair. Breathe. Now exhale, fold over first, then straighten the legs, head down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down, step your left foot back, prepare for Crescent Lunge. So your back toes are down, hips are squared. Place your fingertips on the floor or blocks, hug your right hip in. Just hold it here, breathe. Inhale and exhale. Good, now place your hands down, turn your back foot on its side, hug your right hip in, go back to the fingertips, and when you take the fingertips off the floor, the fingers off the floor, that right hip kind of wants to swing out, so draw it back in. And then hover, take the arms by your side, shoulders back, collarbones forward, crown of the head forward. Think about that back leg being nice and firm. Without changing your front leg, begin to bring your torso up. So again, some of you will want to be closer in your stance, some of you will need to be further in your stance. And that's kind of, up to you. Straighten your front leg. And rebend. And straighten your front leg. And rebend and hold, warrior one. Think about the back foot. Now turn your shoulders forward so that your torso is forward. Your hip may or may not be facing forward in that back leg. It depends on your anatomy. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Empty the breath as you fold over your right leg. Spin your back foot forward. Hold here. Look forward. And then step again to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Empty the breath and fold over your legs. Push down firmly through your feet. Rise up to stand. Bring the arms with you. Exhale, bring a prayer to your heart center. Arms by your side. You choose if you like your feet together or further apart. No, we did warrior one this way, I know. So we'll do it later, don't worry. Bend your knees, sweep the floor, chair pose, weight is back in your heels, heart is lifted. Take a breath here, and as you exhale, the hands to the floor, legs straighten, head to shin. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step to a high plank. Hold for a moment. Find your plank. Guys, this is your plank today. You don't have to do the whole day, right? The whole thing. Look forward, shift your shoulders a little over your wrist. Bend your knees or keep your knees straight. Bend your arms halfway down. Then roll over your toes, resting on just the top of your pedicure. And then downward dog, we all meet. Breathe in, breathe out. Now step your right foot to your right thumb. Left foot turns on its side. Hug your right hip in. Bring your arms overhead, inhale. Exhale, fold down, hands to floor, spin your back foot forward, and step back through chaturanga. Go halfway down, upward dog or low cobra, downward dog, hips in the air. Send your left foot to your left thumb, turn your right foot on its side, hug your hips towards midline and rise to stand. Warrior one, bring the ribs down, make sure you're not punching out those ribs by dumping into your lower back. Lift up with your torso, bring ribs and hips together. And then exhale, hands down, all the way through that. Same breath takes you through your push-up. If you're doing more push-ups, you may have to adjust the breath. Downward dog is where we meet. And we hold for a few breaths. Inhale and exhale. Bring your feet together. Toes touch, heels touch, chest to thighs. Rise onto your tippy toes. Take your right leg high in the sky. Bend your knee, play with it, explore. Maybe you open it up a little bit, but again, don't lean onto your left side. Keep your torso square. And then bend your knee as you turn your hips square. Right knee to your chest, rounding, curling dog. And then send it forward to plank. Look between your hands, right foot steps, left foot turns on its side. Good, come to your fingertips and make your way to warrior one, arms up. Inhale. Good. Exhale, bring your prayer to your heart center, thumbs touching your heart. Lean slightly forward. So before you go anywhere, just lean forward. And then you're going to notice whether you need to bring that back foot forward with you into a lunge, or you can stay in your warrior position. Leaning forward, getting length through the torso. Rotate, left elbow outside, right thigh. So again, here some of you are going to have to turn your back foot forward. There's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine. Hug your hips in midline, thumbs towards your sternum. Maybe your eye gaze goes over your right elbow. Breathe in, breathe out. Settle in, find it, it's called awkward, because it's awkward. Breathe in, breathe out. One more breath here in the twist. And then inhale back to center. Rise up, warrior one. So if you adjusted your back leg, see if you can turn it back out. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Rebend it, just adjusting your hips and shoulders. Bring your arms behind your back, interlace your fingers, palms together, knuckles down, heart lifts. Squeeze your elbows together, squeeze your shoulders together. Draw your ribs, knit them in down towards your hips. Lean forward again and come on the inside of your right leg. Some of you will just lay on your thigh. Some of you will get your shoulder inside. Some of you can get your head down to your ankles. So there's all different shapes and sizes. We come in all those places. Good, folding inside. Settle in, don't be anxious, don't be anticipatory, just be. I didn't tell you to have a gratitude plan today. Plan on a gratitude. I am grateful for. One more breath, come up. Reach your arms up overhead. Good, now if you have two blocks, you're going to want them near your side. Come back to center and lean forward. Take your blocks on either side of your leg, any position, turn your back foot forward. If you don't have blocks, your hands are on the floor. Send your weight to your right leg and float your left leg up. L shape, the right leg is still bent. Lift your heart up. Breathe in, breathe out. So it's a supported warrior three. Your legs are parallel. Your left leg is parallel to the floor. That's it. Flex the foot. Make it really strong, like you're pushing something away from you. That's it. One more breath. Just breathe. Good. Look down towards the floor and step that left leg all the way back again. Move your blocks and step into a downward dog with your right leg in the air. Once again, open up the hip. This time, we will turn on its side a little bit. And you're going to open up that right hip, right leg. Bend and straighten. And then take your feet to the floor, downward dog. Stay here or move through a vinyasa slowly. Come down halfway, upward, and downward facing dogs. Breathe. Take your feet together. Left leg in the air, high on your right toes. Left knee bends and straightens. So explore a little bit what's going on in the legs today, in the hips. Shoulders stay squared. And then bend the knee as you turn your hips square. Knee to chest and down dog. Round and curl. Come forward to a plank, round and curl. Step your left foot through. Turn your right foot on its side. First come to your fingertips. And work on hugging that left hip in. If you have your blocks, keep them nearby because we are going to use them at some point. You might be using them now. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Inhale. Think about your back leg being firm. Big toe, little toe, ball of the foot, heel of the foot really pressing into the earth. A lot of action in the lower hip, lower leg. Inhale, bring the arms with you overhead. Warrior one. Sink down a little bit. Square off your shoulders. And then straighten your front leg. And rebend it. Good. Now my arms touch, but your arms don't have to touch. They're fine being apart. Right? If your shoulders are tight, they may be even further. Then you do a little lift through the upper back. Breathe. Good. Inhale your hands to prayer. Lean forward, and here is about the time you're going to say, you know what, I need a little help from that back foot turning in. So feel free to turn the back foot in, which will square off your hips more. Inhale, lengthen, 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 then rotate to your outer right leg. Right arm outside, left hand to prayer. So draw the left hip in towards your midline. You can be on the ball of you can even be on your knee. Crown of the head forward, belly is lifted. Awkward twist. Why? Because it's awkward. Breathe in, breathe out. Think about keep hugging your hips towards midline. Breathe in and out. Take another breath. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Arms up, warrior one. So if you adjusted your back foot, turn it back on its side a little bit. Inhale the arms behind your back, one finger over, knuckles down, heart lifts. And then exhale, fold either on the inside of your left foot or perhaps on top of it. Just if you're folding on top of your thigh, just don't put all your body weight onto it, right? See if you can have a little bit of an edge there. And then the head down, arms up. Keep working your back hip in towards the midline. Breathe in and breathe out. Just a couple of moments here. Inhale. Exhale, come back up on the inhale. Warrior one, arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor, blocks, turn your back foot forward. Bend your left knee and keep it bent. As you step up onto your left foot, right toes are down. Rise to your fingertips and breathe. So your L shape, flex the foot, relax the neck and shoulders, especially if you're on the block. Good, turn your toes down, Sin. So your hips, yeah. Breathe in, breathe out. Now your left knee should be bent, right? And then just go ahead and step it back into a low lunge. Release your hands to the floor. Kick your left leg up, three-legged dog. Really explore now, open, close. And then square your hips, downward facing dog. Stay here or flow through vinyasa, chaturanga, 1, 2, 10. Upward dog or cobra. Downward dog is where we all meet again. Breathe in, breathe out. Bring your feet closer together. Inhale, right leg comes high in the sky. Exhale, right leg steps through. Left foot turns on its side. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, prayer twist to the outside of the right leg. You choose where that leg is going. Breathe in, breathe out. Good, take another breath. Look down as you inhale back up to warrior one. Make whatever adjustments on your legs you need to make. Exhale, release the hands behind the back. Inhale, knuckles down, heart up. And exhale, again, fold inside your leg. Hug your hips towards midline, head down. Inhale and exhale. Now without coming up this time, square your hips. Release your hands to the floor or blocks. Turn your back foot on its side. Come into your supported warrior three. Breathe in, breathe out. Climb to your fingertips. And see if you want to just float your hands off the floor or blocks. Just floating, right? I'm not floating today. There we go. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then send your left leg back. Lower your left knee to the floor. Ah. So again, your knee should be over your ankle, maybe slightly in front of it, but not so much that your heel is lifting. Hands on the inside of your right leg. Take it onto the outer edge of the right foot and see if you'd like to come down to your forearms here. Push through the forearms, belly is lifted, breathe in, breathe out. Another couple breaths here, guys, just hang in. Go back to your gratitude thought. Inhale, your hands come back. If you're on the floor with them, bring them back down. Turn your toes forward. Right hand outside, right foot. Do a short little straight leg fold over your right leg. Toes up or down. Walk the blocks with you if you'd like to. You can hold on to them a little bit higher, lower, or not at all. Doesn't matter. Pull the right hip back. Walk your hands forward and fold. Relax the neck and shoulders. Breathe in, let it go. Good. Inhale, look forward and rebend your knee, hands on the floor, blocks. Left toes tuck. Hi, Crosby. Step back to a high plank. Choose to flow or skip upward and downward facing dogs. Left leg in the air. Bend the knee, explore, and then step it all the way through. Turn the back foot on its side, warrior one, arms up. Exhale, prayer to heart. Lean forward, decide to change your back leg or not. Twist outside your left thigh. Hug your hips towards the midline. Breathe. Keep spinning your heart open. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to center, inhale, warrior one, adjust the back leg. Exhale, hands behind your back, one finger over, knuckles down, heart lifts. And then fold inside your left leg and keep hugging the left hip towards your midline. Breathe in, breathe out. Left hip in, right hip forward as best you can. Release your hands to the floor or blocks. Lengthen your spine, keep your left leg bent, and step up into your supported warrior three with a bent knee, with that bent left knee. And then see if you want to float your hands up, maybe into prayer. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Good. Just, you have to figure out where your body weight needs to be for you to balance. Nice, guys. Good. Hands come back to the floor. Leg steps back. Low lunge. Lower the right knee to the floor. Take both hands on the inside of the right leg. And then see if you want to turn it out a little bit as you come to your forearms and sink down. The blocks will help if you need to, right? You don't have to be a hero. Blocks are awesome. Don't deny yourself the use of them. Couple breaths here. Just releasing, settle in. take the next breath to bring your hands back down, turn your hip forward. One hand on the outside of the left leg and begin to straighten your left leg out. Take your blocks with you if you'd like. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward, and if you'd like, walk your hands forward and just fold a little bit more so you get a little bit more open in the back as well. Two more breaths, please. Good. Inhale, rebend the knee, tuck the back toes under. Three-legged down, plank. Plank. Let's go to plank. Hold it here. Or vinyasa. You choose. How you get there is totally up to you. When you get there, breathe. Feet come together. High up on your tiptoes. Right leg floats up. Right leg steps through. Inhale to warrior one, arms up. Good. Exhale, let's just take that twist. Choose the back leg to be straight or not. Hug your hip in. And on the next inhale, bring your hands through center. Right elbow inside right thigh. Good. Make the adjustments here. Arms up and down into a side plank. Side lunge. Side angle. Look down at your right toes. Bend your right knee. Look down and come up. Straighten your front leg. Turn your right toes to the left, pivoting in just a quarter turn. Hands behind your back, fingers interlaced, wrists, forearms, elbows, prayer. Reverse prayer. Lift your heart. And then go down halfway and stop. Bend your knees a little bit or a lot so that your weight can shift forward rather than back into hyperextension. Keep the length in the spine long. Breathe in and breathe out. And let's fold over our legs. Release your hands underneath your shoulders. Lengthen your spine. Inhale. Walk your arms out so you're in like a downward dog with a wide leg. Softening the knees, biceps by the ears. Breathe in. Feel free to grab a block if you'd like to. Keep your left hand towards the center and take your right hand to the outside of your left ankle, foot, or shin. Hug your hips towards midline and spin yourself open. Inhale to center. Right hand stays, left hand comes to the outside of the foot, shin, or ankle, twisting underneath that right arm. Inhale back to center. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders, lengthen your spine. Take your right toes to the front, spin your back foot, lower the left knee, to the floor. And once again, come to your forearms if you can. Your foot could be opened on its side, it could be hugging in, it could be just turned out. Let your body be your guide on that one. Now, if you're not down on your forearms, we're going to get there at some point. Tuck your left toes underneath you. So if you're not down on your forearms, you're going to make your way to a forearm plank. Step your right foot back, and then everybody forearms down, shoulders over elbows. Look forward. Shift a little forward. Open your hands out. Pull your heart through and lower your hips to the floor, Sphinx Pose. Resting on your pubic bone or just above your pubic bone, shoulders back and down. Heart lifts. I'm going to change. I can see my camera. You guys can't see me. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. All right, now come back to a plank from there. High plank. Go back to downward dog or take it through a vinyasa. You choose. We meet in downward dog. Feet come together. Left leg in the air. Left leg steps through. Warrior one. Arms come up all the way. Exhale, prayer to heart. Lean forward. Twist outside your left thigh. So keep your belly off your thigh. Turn the back foot if you need to. Good, one more breath here as you come back. Inhale, hands inside, spinning the back foot, left arm comes down, right arm comes up. So there's always these subtle adjustments that go on. You know, sometimes I don't even cue them, they're so subtle, but our bodies kind of instinctively know where to go. So you might have to shorten your stance, widen your stance, bring it closer, whatever it is for you. Side angle pose variation. Look down at your toes. Good. Inhale, come up and straighten the front leg, left arm up. And then exhale, come inside your left foot. 2 hands on the floor, spin your back foot forward, lower your back knee. Take your left toes out and do whatever it is you did on the other side. And if you can make it to your forearms, great. Breathe in, breathe out. So just a few moments here to get a little release. Make sure you're not totally collapsed on anything. Your forearms, if they're not on the floor, we're going to make our way back to a plank on our forearms. So for those of you who can, tuck the back toes under, send the left leg back. Otherwise, make your way just to a forearm plank. For this round, right arm stays. We're going to spin onto our right side, side plank. And you can do your bottom knee to the floor. Any variations that you'd like. Take your left leg, if you can, behind you on the floor. And lift your hips up like a dancer's bridge on your forearm. And just open your heart. All right, smoothly with control, come back through center and switch to your left side plank. Hips up, arm up. If you need the bottom leg down, you take it down. Right leg is going to step behind you. Lift your hips up and open up your arm overhead. Good. With the breath and with grace, come back to your forearms. Shift forward, open your hands, lower your hips to the floor. Sphinx pose. Shoulders back, heart lifts. Push firmly through the forearms. If it feels good for you, separate your legs a little bit. Take your arms and straighten them, bring your chin down. This is only if it's appropriate for you. If it's too much, you go back to your forearms or even just a low cobra. Exhale, the forearms come down. And now we're going to sit back to child's pose. Walk your hands back. Open your knees wide. Bring your hands in between your feet and let your left ear come to the floor. Turn the proverbial other cheek. Good, come back to center. Stretch your arms out in front of you. And then walk your hands back in towards your knees. Bring your knees closer together. Tuck your toes under and lift up. Open your knees wide. Put your arms on the inside of your legs. Some of you will get your forearms down and hug your knees around your triceps. And that's great. Wherever you want to be, you can have your arms straight as well. Pull the belly in, hug your knees around the triceps. If anybody out there wants to take this into a crow pose, walk your hands back in, lift your hips up, hug your knees around the outside of your arms, and lift 1 or 2 legs off the floor. You choose. We're not jumping back because we're at the back of our mat. So you can stay in that Malasana pose. Good, Laura. Good, good, good. That's it. That's it. You got it. And then slowly, if you came off the floor, come back down, just like that. Open the knees wide. Just going to change this song for a second. Breathe in, breathe out. And then push down through your feet and come into a standing forward bend. Good. Grab opposite elbows and sway a little side to side. And then switch the cross of the arms and sway side to side. Place your fingertips on the floor, shins or blocks, lengthen your spine. Bring your hands to your hips as you rise up to standing. Heel toe your feet together. Bring your arms down by your side. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, prayer to your heart as your right knee comes up to your chest. And then hug your left leg in. Extend your right leg out in front of you. Step forward 2 to 3 feet. Charge your body forward. Warrior 3, toes down, hips square. So this one you can do with this leg bent or straight, because we've been doing it supported and bent. So you're in an L shape still, but this time you have a little bit more height to it. And then bring your left knee to your chest slowly and controlled. Lift it up, hug the right hip in. Extend left leg out. Step forward 2 to 3 feet. Charge your body forward. Square your hips, square your shoulders. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. You decide if that left leg is bent or straight, or maybe just a slight bend in it, which is perfectly great. And then bring your feet together, top of the mat. Arms up overhead, inhale. Bend your knees, exhale, chair pose. Legs are together on this one, but feel free to separate them. Hands to prayer, inhale. Left elbow outside right thigh, thumbs to sternum. Check out your knees, let that left knee come forward as you drop your seat a bit further and move your hips a little more to the right, lift your belly up off your thigh. Anybody who has a side crow arm balance here is welcome to take it as well. Hands to the floor, perhaps you lift your hips onto your triceps and you come up off the floor in any variations. So side twist or side crow. And if you're off the floor, come on back in. As you exhale, come to center and straighten your legs, separate your feet. Lift your toes up and slide your hands underneath your feet. Wrap your big toe around your wrist, look forward. And exhale, straighten the legs, elbows out to the side, head towards the shins. Good, inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your hips, rise up to stand. Heel toe your feet together, arms by your side. Inhale your arms up, bend your knees, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to prayer. Right elbow outside left thigh, pull the right knee back, drop your seat down, shifting hips a little bit to the left side so that right hip has space to move back. Inhale and exhale. So again, you can stay right where you are and just practice the twist. Or if you have this burning desire to come off the floor, bend your knees, elbows on the floor, hands on the floor, elbows bent. If you're doing more traditional, your left elbow is free. Your hip is not on it, but that's a really challenging way of getting there. Some people will go in with no problem. Don't kick into it, just take your time getting into it. Good. And if you're flying, come on back down and go back to your chair twist. And then exhale, fold over your legs, straighten your legs. Separate your feet hips width apart. One more time, stand on your hands. Big toe wraps around your wrist, look forward, inhale. And then exhale, fold everything in half. Feel like you're going to come forward a little bit. Let your head come down. And then inhale, halfway lift. And hands come to your hips, rise up to stand. If you're not at the top of your mat, step forward, bring your arms by your side. Inhale the arms all the way up. And exhale, forward fold, step back, walk back, jump back through a vinyasa. You go down to your downward dog, and we'll meet back in downward dog. Breathe in, and breathe out. Good, go ahead and bring your knees to the floor. Cross left leg in front of right leg as you sit back. You can take this Sukhasana, simple seat, or you can make this a half or full lotus. Hands come by your side, breathe in. Arms up, exhale, walk your hands forward to the first point of resistance and stay. pull your hips back to the back of your mat. So try not to let your hips come off the floor. Try not to stop breathing. So keep the breath moving freely and slowly. And once you stop that free flow of the breath, you need to back off. Right, Daisy? Keep walking your hands forward. You'll feel this more of the leg that's in front of you. Inhale, walk your hands back up. Left leg comes out to the side. Left hand comes inside as the right arm comes up and over. Flex your left foot. Some of you will grab your hand to your foot. Good, great. Some of you will be further off the floor like me. But work on opening, even if you can hold on to your foot, work on the opening of your torso towards the sky. Take a breath, and then fold over your left leg and hang. Inhale, walk back up. Stay where you are, but straddle your legs. Doesn't matter if it's huge or little. One hand in front, one hand behind. Toes are turned up and flexed out to a little bit of external rotation through the hip, and walk your hands forward again to the first point of resistance. Exhale, let it go as deep as your body will allow you. Don't round your back. So pull your shoulders back, keep your collarbones pointing forward. Keep pulling your hips back and your chest forward. You'll go as far as you go. Your body should know when to stop. It's your mind that doesn't stop. All right, so if your body is saying stop, but your head's going, nah, I'm going to go further, that's a risk of injury. One more breath. Walk it back in. Gently shake out your legs. Cross your right leg in front of your left leg. Bring your heels underneath your your calves. And walk forward again. You might feel something different. Now, I gave you a dedicated leg to put in front today. Usually I say go on your own side. So usually your first side would be your more familiar side, but this could be that side. Walk your hips back, breathe in, breathe out. The goal is not to get your head to the floor. Keep the spine long. Keep the sitting bones down. Another breath. Good. Inhale, your hands come back in. Take your right leg out to the right side. Right arm inside. Maybe you hold a big toe. Left arm comes up. And you spin your heart open. So again, it's rotating at the torso. And if you have your left hand on your right foot, if you have that flexibility, good for you, first of all. But make sure it's not at the expense of turning downward, because we are opening up. Breathe. Inhale, turn towards your right leg. As you exhale, fold over it as far, as low as your body will go. Inhale, walk your hands back in. Open your left leg out one more time to a wide-legged straddle. Assist yourself forward. Maybe you can even stay here with your hands behind you, because that's really kind of nice. You can also sit on a block, toes up to the ceiling and hips open out a little bit. If you're walking forward, walk forward, stop at your first point of resistance, stay, take an extra breath, fold a little bit deeper. Don't have a plan of where you're going, because it may not happen. And then I don't need you disappointed. I want you to know that you're doing exactly what you need to be doing. One more breath. Good. Inhale, walk it back in. Gently help it out. Shake your legs out. If you have a block, please have it near you. Come to the center of the mat so that when you come down, your head will be supported. Actually, yeah, let's just do this one. Okay. If you guys can get 2 blocks, awesome. All right, roll down, nothing great, nothing crazy. Feet are hips width apart. Lift your hips up off the floor, take your block, all right? Because you have choices, you have 3 heights to the block. Support yourself on one of the heights. If the highest height is just definitely something you shouldn't be doing, you can feel it right away, then don't go there. Just take a nice restorative bridge, resting your body weight onto the bridge, onto the block. Arms are open by your side. Now this should be comfortable enough that you could actually stay here for your Shavasana, but challenging enough, I guess, that you feel the opening and you feel the support as well. If you don't have a block, you're in a supported bridge with your hands supporting at your lower back or your glutes. Some of you might want to stretch your legs out and get a nice big hip stretch there. And again, if you're on the higher blocks, sometimes you have to hold on to them, and sometimes you need to adjust them down a little bit. And the last thing I'll give you an option for is to bring your legs in the air for a supported shoulder stand. So you can be in the bridge, you could be in the straight leg with your hips really exposed and open, or you can be in the supported shoulder stand. Now any of these can be done for your final Shavasana. So if you're in a place that you think you'd like to stay for the next couple of moments, stay there. If not, place your feet on the floor, lift your hips up, remove the block, give yourself a little spinal twist side to side, and make your way onto your back for Shavasana. And so make your choice as to where you're going to spend the last few moments of the practice. Begin to release all the breath that we've been using during class, dedicated breath, Ujjayi breath. Let your body breathe its own natural breath. Finding stillness, finding peace, finding gratitude. Stay for as long as you'd like if you're able to, or begin to deepen your breath. Bring small movement back into your arms, legs, fingers, wrists, ankles, toes. And gently stretch your arms over your head and bring your knees to your chest. If you are on the block and you need an extra spinal twist here, please do. Even if you weren't on the block and you need an extra spinal twist. once again, taking your hands to your heart center. Gently tucking your chin towards your chest. Bowing in gratitude first to yourselves, next to each and every one of you. Gratitude for your commitment, for your compassion, for your energies. Now we all bow down to each other. Shanti, shanti, shanti. On peace, 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 peace to all. Namaste, Satnam, in peace. Happy Sunday to everybody. Thank you for being here. My fitness challengers, there's no plank today unless you really have the desire. Stay home safe and stay healthy, get vaccinated.